We first met Cecilia Gonzalez and Jason Rochester in 2019 when I spoke to them about Cecilia's self-deportation. Cecilia and Jason have been married for 14 years and have an 8-year-old son, Ashton, together. But for the last 3 years, they've been raising their child from opposite sides of the United States-Mexico border after Cecilia left for Mexico in 2018 when Donald Trump was president, not realizing this meant a permanent 10-year bar for re-entry into the United States of America. They are now working with the group American Families United, which recently introduced a bill into Congress that would review family separations based on deportation and inadmissibility on a case-by-case basis.
I told her, we can work on it, we can fix it, not knowing her true situation because we didn't know the law. I didn't know that she had a permanent bar.
So when did you find out?
It wasn't until after she'd already left, because our first lawyer didn't do us justice, and he allowed us to get into the system and got her a work permit and things that we should have never even done in the first place. And he always said that it was not a big deal. I'll have you back in 6 months, you get deported. So in our minds, it was not a big deal. When we went to her last meeting in 2017, we had consulted another lawyer, and she did a FOIA before we went. And she says, I'm not going to take your case unless I do a FOIA. So we did the FOIA, we went to the meeting, and then we decided that she was going to leave the country. And then after she was out of the country, a couple of months later, we found out that she had a permanent, but it was too late.
Well, number one, she has a permanent bar for permanent residence. There's always, hopefully, a waiver for a non-immigrant for some humanitarian parole into the United States. You always, and this goes for everybody out there, you always need to do a FOIA first to find out what all the issues are before you leave. That lawyer was correct in doing it, and then still even gave you incorrect advice, not knowing the law. You should never have left the United States ever. I think the parole is the way to go over trying to apply for a visa and a waiver. The parole would allow you to enter the US, and then you can extend it locally at the immigration office on a year-by-year basis, just like you were doing before, versus a visitor's visa is a one-time thing and go home. Have you spoken to any congressmen or senators about doing a private bill? Because you're involved in politics now, so, your congressman or your senator can do a private bill and just attach it onto anything that passes.
I haven't tried a private bill because I know they're so difficult.
They are.
I am going to contact them about anything like that as well.
What's going on with the American Families United Act?
American Families United Act, HR 2920. It will help families stay together that are in the United States, that are American citizens, that are married to undocumented immigrants. And it will help the undocumented immigrant that's married to a citizen that's been deported to be able to be reunited with their families in America. If we can get senators to get on board ahead of time and decide that they want to sponsor it, the more co-sponsors that we can get on either side, Republican and Democrat, the better.
There are families out there that are going to remain separated, and whatever this person did that gets them deported or doesn't allow them to re-enter the United States, there's a justification for it. And sometimes when people do bad things, other people suffer. But a lot of times the bad things that the law says is bad is not so bad, or happened so long ago that how could we even consider it today? The American Families United Act puts fairness back into the law. By getting your story out there as much as you can, you are doing the best thing possible to try to get this approved. And I'll tell you why. Because if you do a poll of Americans, do you think people who get deported should be able to return to the United States? And that was your poll. Most would say no. If you got deported, why would you come back to the United States? If you say American voter, do you think that a woman who never committed a crime, who is married to a U.S. citizen, who for 15 years and has a child who is a cancer survivor and is being separated from their spouse, do you think that this couple deserves to live together in America? Everybody would say yes. So it's about really painting a picture rather than just a one sentence, if you got deported, you don't come back. Okay, because there's a lot of layers to immigration, and it's very easy for somebody to say, kick them out or keep them out. But when you start peeling away all of the layers of immigration, that's when people say, that's not fair.